Hey, I'm Adam. Welcome back to the channel. This channel is here to help you become the best entertainer and performer possible. We never monetize any of these videos. If you do want to support us, please do head over to vulpinecreations.com. That's where you can find all of our magic and all of the courses and the work that we put out. That's enough of that. Let's dive right in. Today, I'm going to share with you 5 different ways that you can project confidence on stage. Now, we've all seen some performers out there that seem timid or shy when they walk onto stage. And in turn, the audience will resonate with that and they'll also become a little off-put. So how do we as entertainers project confidence? Here are 5 ways. All right, the first one is, what do you look like? How do you dress? Try and dress 25% better than everybody in the room. So whoever the nicest dressed person in the room is, you should dress 25% nicer. What does that mean? Well, if it's business casual, wear a suit. If everyone's wearing a suit, wear a 3-piece suit. Just try and dress a little bit nicer than everybody else in the room. It's going to help you with your confidence, knowing I'm the best dressed person in this entire venue. Now, if you're on stage and everybody's staring at you, you should be. So first, you've got to know your audience. What are they going to be wearing? What kind of event is this going to be? And how can I dress 25% nicer? Now, some people may argue, why not just wear a 3-piece suit or a really nice dress if you're a woman to every event? You could do that, and especially if that's your character, awesome. But if you're going to, let's just say, a family event and there's 300 people there and they're all dressed in summer clothes, shorts and t-shirts, and you show up on stage in the middle of summer outdoors in a 3-piece wool suit, it's gonna feel and look weird, right? It's not gonna fit the part. Again, if it's your character, no problem. Follow with that character. Look at Matt King. Matt King wears a plaid suit all the time, so I'm sure if he ever performs outdoors, he's probably pretty hot, but that fits his character. So the main point of this one is to try and dress 25% better than anybody else in the room. It's going to make you feel like the star of the show, which you should be, and it's going to give you a little boost in your confidence as well. All right, tip number 2 is to pace your delivery. So I'm not talking so much about the inflex of your voice and your tonality and things of that nature, because in all honesty, that takes quite a bit of practice with a vocal coach or a singing coach. I'm talking about strictly the pace of your delivery. So for instance, when you're recording an audiobook, producers will tell you to do about 150 words per minute, which is slower than if you were talking to somebody face to face. Just slightly slower. And the reason being, they can only hear you. They don't get to see your face move, which helps your brain register what's being said. So if you're doing something on a webinar or something where they can't see your face, the rule of thumb is to generally go just slightly slower than normal conversation. Now, when you're on stage and people can see you, you're going to reverse that rule slightly because you want to grab their attention and they're seeing exactly what you're saying and doing. So you want to speed your pace up slightly. You don't want to be talking so fast that you look nervous, but you want to speed your pace up by maybe 5 to 10%. Talk a little bit faster and it'll help you sort of instill confidence so people are sure you know what you're talking about. So another rule of thumb is know what you're talking about. If you get on stage and you try and speed your pace up a little bit, but you're not sure of what you're going to be saying, it'll come off ugly. We'll just put it that way. So you got to know what you're saying and then just speed your pace up a bit. That doesn't mean your whole performance needs to be very fast. In every performance, there's going to be ebbs and flows, right? And learning how to control those ebbs and flows of maybe a pause before you say something that you really want to resonate, or maybe you're going to talk a little bit slower at certain points you want people to pay attention to. But for the majority of your presentation, try and go about 5 to 10% faster with your pace. It'll help you to instill an air of confidence in your show. If you want to take a look at somebody who is incredible at pacing, check out Brian Stevenson. He's an attorney who got the longest standing ovation at a TED Talk, I think in TED history. So check him out. Check out his TED Talk. Brian Stevenson, he is incredible at pacing. He's an attorney, right? So you think, oh, what kind of a speech can an attorney give that's going to be interesting? Check out how he paces the way he speaks in his speech. It's truly a masterclass in pacing. All right, tip number 3 is pretty simple. Replace long words with short ones. If you want to sound smart and confident on stage, a lot of people think, oh, I'll use these really long, lofty words. in actuality, it does the opposite. It doesn't make you sound smart. It makes you come off as arrogant and pompous. The problem is a lot of people might not know those words, so how are they going to follow along with what you're trying to preach to them or speak to them if they don't understand the words? I think the smartest and most intelligent thinkers out there have a way of taking really complex ideas and putting them into bite-sized, understandable little pieces. So use smaller, more succinct words. Try not to use these big, lofty words that, while you may think make you sound smart, they really do the opposite. Tip number 4 is to rehearse under stress. Now, we can all practice in our office or in our house in front of a mirror, in front of some friends, something like that. That's great. But try and find a place that's going to actually get you stressed out. Somewhere that maybe there are people you don't know, like an open mic night or a what are they called? A Rotary Club meeting, right? Somewhere where there are going to be people looking at you, where you've got to put on your best to win them over. If you don't practice under stress, you're not going to know how to perform under stress. Now, most of the time, you'll learn how to perform under stress from performing. So if you're just practicing in front of a mirror or with your friends and family, that's like home field advantage performing, and it's probably not going to be that stressful. Find a place that you can get out in front of people that you've never been in front of before. Try and instill a little bit of stress into your performance so you can understand how to overcome that and actually how to thrive in that environment. So whether that's an open mic night, a Rotary Club, a charity show, just a place where people have not seen you before, where you can do your entire show with a little bit of stress added. So tip number 5 is to maintain an open posture. It's been said that complex thinkers use complex hand gestures. That doesn't mean to go out on stage and start throwing your hands around wildly, but it does mean you want to focus on maintaining an open posture. So what does that mean? Well, an open posture would be something like your hands up and your palms out to the audience, open and inviting them in. A closed posture would be crossing your hands or even having your hands like this down by your waist. You're closing yourself off from the audience. It seems like a small thing, but it really does magnify when you're on a stage. Another closed posture would be in front of a podium. If you're ever standing in front of a podium, or for us magicians, if your case is on stage and you're trying to talk while you're behind your case, that's a closed posture, right? It almost gives the impression that we're shy and timid, so we need to hide behind something, whether that's the close-up case or our hands. Try and get into the mentality of an open posture as much as possible. It's opening, it's welcoming, and it's an inviting to the audience, okay? So this is something I've had to work on because my general sort of at ease posture is my hands crossed down in front of my waist area. That's a closed posture. It doesn't look horrible, doesn't make me look nervous, but it also doesn't invite the audience into me or to my performance. So for the last few years, I've been working very hard on being more open and more animated with my hand gestures to make sure that I'm always in this open posture. So that's it, a quick one today, 5 tips that will hopefully help you be, or at least feel, more confident on stage. And if you don't look, or if you're not feeling more confident on stage, hopefully at least the audience will think you're more confident on stage. The more times you do this, the more practice you get under your belt, the more natural it will start feeling, and in turn, the more confident you'll start becoming. So thanks again for your time. We'll see you on the next one.